The world has a very interesting relationship with alcohol. Some countries are known for it. Russia, Germany, Ireland. But one thing is very clear. We all love our drinking. But as Christians, should we be drinking? Is it a sin? Let's take a deeper look. Hey Christ Fitters, here at 517 Fitness, we're all about helping you lose weight and gain faith. So let's start doing that by jumping into today's topic. So growing up, I was rarely around drinking. I honestly could count on one hand how many times I saw my parents drink. I myself actually never drank until I was 21. And then I didn't really start drinking until 23 to 25. Around this time in my life, I lived in a house that was kind of the center for everybody that worked at the gym I worked at. So Friday, Saturday night, my house with all my roommates was the place to be. And actually, I really enjoyed that period of my life. I made some really good friends. I had some great memories, but drinking was a big part of that component and that relationships that were built in that time frame. One of the things I loved about it was that drinking really brought people together, and my friendships grew in those moments. I often was the guy behind the bar, so I liked, as weird as it sounds, providing for people and giving them great tasting beverages. I actually even went to bartending school. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to make sure that I was making the drinks for my friends the correct way. So in this time, drinking was actually a really positive thing for me. But I've seen drinking be such a negative thing for other people, and I really wanted to pinpoint what God thought about drinking. And so I jumped into the Bible and looked for some guidance. Right off the bat, when going to attack this question and figure out what the Bible says about drinking alcohol, two events really shine. The first one being Jesus' first miracle. Jesus said to them, "Fill the water pots with water." So they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Draw some out now and take it to the head waiter." So they took it to him. When the head waiter tasted the water, which had become wine, and did not know where it came from, but the servants who had drawn the water knew, the head waiter called the bridegroom. God's first miracle was turning water into wine. Wine, an alcoholic beverage. It's pretty much the ultimate party trick. It is hard for me to imagine that Jesus, right out the gate, would use wine in a miracle when we are not supposed to drink that said wine. The second event that really embodies drinking is the Last Supper. Jesus uses wine to represent his blood. Once again, it is hard for me to comprehend that Jesus would use something that is going to be a sin if we consume to represent himself and thus give it to the disciples to consume. Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." So just by examining these two events, it's hard for me to make an argument to why we as Christians should not drink wine. Main argument in researching the answer to this question comes down to, it seems like semantics. A lot of people believe that the wine of the Bible and the wine of today are not considered the same. And to the people that have that argument, I have one question for you. If you could explain to me Noah. See, Noah was described in the Bible as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. So, he's got some pretty high praises for himself. And Noah was basically the OG winemaker. I mean, he literally makes the ark. Animals 2 by 2 comes in, the flood, he lands that ark, gets out, and one of the first things he does is plant a vineyard and make some wine. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and laid uncovered inside his tent. The way I read this is Noah got drunk off of the wine that he created, thus kind of implying that the wine of the Bible could get you drunk, which means it has alcohol in it. So, wine of the Bible, wine of today, maybe the alcohol level was different, but they still could get you drunk. So, I would still have to lean towards the Bible saying it's okay to drink wine. So now that we kind of have come to the agreement that wine of the Bible and wine of today are the same, are there any other verses in the Bible that talk about wine? There's actually a lot of them, but these two are the two that really kind of stood out for the topic that we're discussing right now. The first one being in 1 Timothy. Drink no longer water only, but use a little wine for your stomach's sake and your frequent illness. That kind of sounds like Timothy is suggesting that wine will help you when you're sick. Go ahead and enjoy your meals as you eat. Drink your wine with a joyful attitude because God already has approved your actions. Ecclesiastes is basically telling us to enjoy our wine. I mean, that can't get much more clear that the Bible is okay, and by the Bible I mean God, is okay with us drinking wine. But what does the Bible say about other types of alcoholic drinks, like beer or hard alcohol? Wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and whoever is intoxicated by it is not wise. This really kind of summarizes what my findings are as I've researched this topic more. It goes back to God's approval of our intent, what we're trying to get across by our actions. I think it's fine to have a drink here or there. I mean, Ecclesiastes blatantly tells us to enjoy it. But with that, there is something we need to be aware of. The aftermath effect that can come from drinking too much. And don't get drunk with wine, which leads to reckless actions, but be filled by the Spirit. Woe to those who rise early in the morning in pursuit of beer, who linger into the evening inflamed by wine. So what I've learned is two things. First, the preferred alcoholic beverage of the Bible is wine, which is actually no shocker considering the health benefits that wine actually has for us. Wine has been shown to lower the risk of type 2 diabetes, strokes, and heart disease. Along with that, it's also been shown to help improve brain function. And the second thing is it seems like the Bible's telling us it's okay to have a beverage here and there. Maybe it's a margarita at dinner, or a glass of whiskey while enjoying a book, or a beer at the big game. I believe God is okay with us having an alcoholic beverage every once in a while. It is the consumption of too much alcohol or the addiction to alcohol that really is the problem, and what the Bible stresses we as Christians should be aware of. If you remotely think you need help when it comes to your relationship with alcohol, please check out Alcoholics Anonymous, which you can check out here at this link, or there'll be a link in the description down below. And lastly, as Christians, I want to leave you also with this one verse that I think is something that we also should be aware of when we are drinking. It is a noble thing not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything that makes your brother stumble. I know that in my life personally, that there are people that I believe have a problem with drinking, and that I have made a choice to not consume alcohol with them. I also want to just suggest to you to be aware of the company you're in when you are drinking. Like I said earlier, I grew up in a household where I never saw my dad drink. It wasn't going to make me stumble, but I actually think that by not seeing my parents drink, that it made it so that drinking wasn't something that was such a big thing in my life. With that, I would actually love to know your opinion on this topic. Do you think that we as Christians should be able to drink alcohol? Heck, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what we're doing here at 517 Fitness, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up or share it on any social media platform. And with that, like always, God bless, finish strong, and I will see you in the next video.